Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Master You English podcast. I'm genuinely excited about today's topic because it's something I get asked about all the time, and that is, how can I get better at writing in English? Whether you're writing for school, for work, or for yourself, English writing can feel intimidating at first, but trust me, it doesn't have to be. In this episode, we're diving into why writing in English is such a powerful skill and how you can get better at it. We'll break it down from the basics like grammar and sentence structure to practical tips you can start using right away. Whether you're on the go, relaxing at home, or just looking for some inspiration, I'm glad you're here. Let's get into it. Let's begin with something foundational. Why does writing in English matter? It's more than just a language exercise. Writing is how we express thoughts that we might not say out loud. It's how we tell stories, share opinions, persuade, inform, and connect with others across time and space. Think about it, you could be a student writing a research paper or a content creator working on blogs and captions. Writing is present in all of that. And what's beautiful is that it doesn't just help you communicate with others, it helps you understand yourself better. It slows down your thoughts and forces you to structure them clearly. It teaches you to think critically and reflect deeply. Now, before we can write well, we need to build on a strong foundation. And that foundation comes down to 3 key pillars: grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. These might sound like the boring parts of writing, but trust me, they're your power tools. They're what help your ideas come across clearly and confidently. Let's start with grammar. Think of grammar as the structure that holds your message together. Without it, your ideas can fall apart or be misunderstood. But here's the thing, you don't need to be perfect. You don't have to memorize every advanced rule. What matters most is getting a strong grasp of the basics. For example, tenses, past, present, and future help you place your story in time. Using the right subject-verb agreement makes your sentences feel natural. Even if you just focus on these basics, you'll start to see a big difference in how clear and effective your writing is. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being clear. Clarity is what helps your reader understand you, and that's what writing is really all about. Next up is vocabulary. This is where writing gets interesting. Vocabulary is your palette, it's how you add color, emotion, and detail. The goal isn't to memorize fancy words. It's to choose the right word for the right moment. For example, instead of always saying good, explore words like excellent, wonderful, satisfying, or encouraging. Notice how each one gives a slightly different feeling. That's the power of word choice. One way to grow your vocabulary is by reading actively. Underline new words. Look them up and try using them in your own writing the same day. And then we've got sentence structure, which is really about how you build your sentences so that they make sense and sound good to the reader. Now, a common mistake a lot of people make, especially when they're trying to sound more advanced, is thinking that long sentences are always better. But the truth is, they're not. A sentence doesn't have to be long to be smart. In fact, some of the most powerful writing uses short, simple sentences that hit straight to the point. Think of it like music. Every sentence is like a beat. Some are fast, some are slow, and some are soft. That rhythm is what makes your writing feel alive and natural, not robotic or flat. One simple tip? Try reading your writing out loud. Seriously, if you stumble or feel like you're running out of breath, that might be a sign the sentence is too long or too awkward. Reading out loud helps you hear the rhythm, and it teaches you what works and what doesn't. Now that we've covered the basics, let's go deeper. What kinds of writing might you be doing in English? Well, let's look at a few types. First up, we've got academic writing. This is the kind of writing you do in school or university, like essays, research papers, reports, and so on. It's formal, structured, and it's all about being clear, logical, and focused. Academic writing isn't the place for slang, jokes, or casual language. And most of the time, you're not supposed to include personal opinions unless the assignment specifically asks for it. Instead, the goal is to back up your ideas with evidence, whether that's data, research, or quotes from reliable sources. Now, when it comes to structure, academic writing usually follows a really clear format. You've got your introduction, where you introduce the topic and often state your main point, or what's called a thesis statement. Then you move into the body paragraphs, each one focused on a single idea, supported by examples or evidence. And finally, you wrap it all up with a conclusion that summarizes everything and reinforces your main message. Now let's talk about business writing. This includes things like emails, proposals, project updates, and memos. The key here is to be clear, professional, and to the point. Business writing isn't the place for long explanations or fancy language. It's about helping your reader understand your message the first time they read it. You'll often use phrases like, "Please find attached," or "I'm writing to follow up," to keep things smooth and polite. The format matters too. Short paragraphs, bullet points, and clear subject lines make your writing easier to scan. Most people don't have time to read long emails, so keeping it clean and organized is a huge plus. Business writing is a skill that builds trust and helps you communicate better at work, no matter your job title. Alright, let's talk about creative writing. This is the space where you can really let your imagination run free. We're talking stories, poems, dialogue, scripts, personal blogs, all that good stuff. What's great about creative writing is that it doesn't follow strict rules. You get to explore ideas, emotions, and your own voice. If you love storytelling or just enjoy playing with words, this is where you get to have fun and truly express yourself. And the best part, there's no right way to do it. You can be serious, poetic, funny, whatever feels right for the moment. Creative writing is all about making the reader feel something, not just understand something. It's less about being perfect and more about being real. So don't worry too much about rules here, just write from the heart. The more you practice, the more your voice starts to shine through naturally. And finally, let's talk about informal and digital writing like social media posts, texts, personal messages, or even quick comments online. This style is way more relaxed and casual. It's conversational, emotional, sometimes funny, and it often sounds just like how we speak. You'll see emojis, exclamation marks, and slang, and that's totally fine. But even with informal writing, context still matters. Just because it's casual doesn't mean you can forget your audience. What works with your friends might not work on a public post or a professional account. So always take a second to think about who's reading. It's about being real and relaxed but still thoughtful. And when done right, informal writing can build connection and show your personality in the best way. So now the big question is, how do you actually get better at writing in real life? The short answer? You write regularly. Writing is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And no, you don't need to crank out 10 pages every day. Even just writing one short paragraph a day can make a difference. It's about building the habit, not chasing perfection. Try this. Set a timer for 10 minutes and just write anything, your day, a memory, a random thought, whatever's on your mind. Don't worry about grammar or making it sound fancy. Just let it flow. When you write consistently, you start to find your voice, get more confident, and notice how your ideas come together more clearly. Another great tool is journaling. Keep a daily or weekly journal in English. Talk to yourself on paper. What did you do today? How did you feel? What are you thinking about? This helps build fluency, vocabulary, and comfort with expressing personal ideas. Also, try writing from different points of view. How would your future self write a letter to you now? It keeps it fun. And here's a tip that many learners skip. Rewrite your work. Go back and read what you wrote a week ago. Can you improve it? Can you fix a sentence or use a stronger word? Editing is where real growth happens. Don't just write once and forget it. You should revisit and revise to improve. Now let's talk about some of the common writing mistakes to watch out for. A big one is writing really long sentences that try to do too much at once. If a sentence feels crowded or confusing, break it down. Stick to one clear thought per sentence. It helps your reader follow along without getting lost. Another thing to keep an eye on is tense consistency. Don't switch from past to present unless there's a good reason. And then there's word choice. A lot of people fall into the habit of using the same basic words like nice or good over and over. It's not wrong, but it can get boring fast. If you catch yourself doing that, try using synonyms of the word that capture more detail or emotion. Another thing to watch for is direct translation from your native language can create strange or awkward phrases. Every language has its own patterns, so the best way to sound natural in English is to read and listen to native content. The more natural input you get, the more natural your output will become. Before we wrap up, I want to say something important. Your voice matters. You might not feel confident now. You might think, I'm not a writer. But writing isn't about perfection. It's about expression. It's about courage. Every time you write something, even a sentence you are learning, you are building confidence. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll find yourself writing faster, smoother, and better than you ever thought possible. So here's my challenge to you. Starting today, write something every day for the next 7 days. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be public. Just write. A paragraph. A journal entry. A description of your favorite meal. Anything. At the end of those 7 days, look back at your writing and see how you've grown. And if you want to take it further, send it to me in the comments so I can read it. I'd love to read what you've written. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I hope it's inspired you to start or continue your writing journey in English. If you found this helpful, please share it with a friend who's also learning. And don't forget, you don't need to be perfect to be powerful. Keep learning, keep writing, and I'll see you in the next one.